4:35 p.m., May 7th, 2024, and we're in a silent coup in this country. The military-industrial complex, which includes all the defense contractors, weapons manufacturers, members of Congress, pharmaceuticals, industry, private companies, the rich elite, have taken over this world. They are in the process of doing it, and our country is succumbing to it. That's why we have such chaos in this country. They have their underground, unacknowledged bases all over the United States and in other parts of the world. Do you think they want people to take over those illegal bases that Congress and the president haven't been read into? Or do you think they're going to protect it? What do you think is going to happen? So they're waiting for critical mass and chaos so martial law can be declared, then they can step in and save the day and round everybody up and kill whoever they want, because they're already doing experimentation on innocent people. We're all lab rats, or we're all fishing this big fishbowl, and they're fishing. So we're getting the active denial system, which is heat under the skin at different degrees and intensities. Some were quick, hard burns, which caused obvious burns and damage, and others are much less intensity, but for longer periods of time. They're doing a very extensive experiment with directed energy weapons all over the world right now, and I talk to people in other countries who are being experimented on. There's voice to skull, there's noise harassment campaign, and there's that active denial system with those burns, those microwave burns. But this is extremely dangerous for our country. And do you remember Joseph McMoneagle, part of the Stargate program, the remote viewer, #1 remote viewer with Army intelligence? Do you remember him and his interviews with Sean Ryan? He was talking about being over in my neck of the woods, close, and I believe, over by the mountains by Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. He was over in that area, and he said that for this company, there was a person in a seat of power in the company, which he wouldn't name, that was really a traitor. So just look back over that interview, because that's who I believe he's talking about. And Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory is part of the military-industrial complex, and they're like so proud of their brain on the chip, where they're experimenting with biochemical warfare on human neurons. Now down the road, there's this act through Congress where they're not supposed to experiment on animals anymore in the military, 2026. So who do you think they're going to experiment on, world? That's what they're doing already. They don't care about our laws. You have to get off on the idea that our government is legally run, because I wouldn't have thought any of this before the pandemic, but I really woke up and I see what a huge, out-of-control monster our deep state has become. Basically, if the Republicans in Congress couldn't get Mayorkas impeached, like a trial for that, so you can hear both sides, because our borders are being overrun by illegal nationalists. It's crazy. There's thousands and thousands of them. Look at the Sean Ryan show. Look at Tucker Carlson. You see thousands and thousands of them. They're building freeways from the Darien Gap over and into our country. They're going to build freeways so they can bring tanks over. How do you know that's not going to happen? Stop laughing at the truth, you idiots. So this is going on, and start paying attention to it and wake up, morons. Not my viewers. I'm talking to everybody, and anybody in there who's a moron, I'm calling you a moron, because this is happening. So start looking at Ross Coulthart. He's an Australian lawyer and journalist. He's speaking the truth, and he has very intelligent, renowned people on his channel. Start paying attention to him. And then Sean Ryan and Tucker Carlson, because the major news medias are being run by CIA operatives that, I've emailed all the major news medias, and not one of them have talked back or emailed me back. I said I have absolute evidence of the targeting. Look at targeted justice, and they didn't respond. You know why? Because they're criminally being held back. We don't have a free press anymore. We have a directed press. We have a forum of the national security state directing what can be said and what can't be said. And people are being attacked and brutalized in this country. Our free will has been taken away by these criminals. My life has drastically changed along with other TIs. I had a beautiful condo. I mean, I'm going to put a picture up. It was so gorgeous, okay? And I slept on my bed, and I wasn't in a cave at night. And I'm older. And for all those idiots out there, schizophrenia doesn't start when you're older in life. And it does, you know, and we have so much proof of Voice to Skull now with no political parties and all. That crap he's capturing, it's real. I mean, when I say crap, I mean it's a vicious assault on him. And it's obvious what's happening to him. And for our government not to be paying attention to this, he's tried. He's called the FCC numerous times. He's written to them. He's done everything he could as a human being to try to stop the targeting and the torture. He's a lab rat like I am. And I've talked to the FCC, FSDO, police, lawyers, and targeted justice is trying to bring truth to power. And guess what happened? In the Fifth Circuit of New Orleans, they criminally dismissed the case with prejudice and didn't even want the evidence presented in court because they knew they would have to document it, and they knew that it would get out to everybody. And all you people out there, wake up. We are not protecting our borders. This is all a sinister plan. Now, this is fascism. So every time the criminals on the major news medias want to call it communism, you know, it's really fascism. You know what fascism is? It's when corporations become so powerful they take over the government and they run it, like Hitler. We've become a fascist dictatorship in a silent coup right now because our Constitution has been flushed down the toilet with our Bill of Rights. People are being attacked, and it's obvious out there. And you know what? It's not going to change until everybody starts questioning it, writing to the news medias, emailing the news medias, emailing your congressmen and senators, because more and more people need to speak up for anything to happen. It can't just be a few senators and congressmen. The people have to wake up and take it seriously, or you're going to lose your freedom. You think all those fires were an accident in California and Canada and Hawaii? You think 9/11 was by this little foreign group? Where was our national security? Come on.